Okay, to the podcast audience, give me a second. Going live on YouTube too. Multitask this. All right, so here's the deal. It's gonna sound real tribal, but let me break it down. If there's America's a beautiful country. It's a country that was built on the back of farmers, and 43 people made it happen, right? 43 people built a nation with a bunch of shooters. You know what I'm saying? So part of the learning curve for a lot of people is they don't want to learn, they want to believe, right? So things that go against their belief system, things that go against what they were taught as a youth, it takes a while to filter that out, right? You have to filter out that Santa Claus was really your dad, that the Easter Bunny ain't real, that the Tooth Fairy was your parents putting change under your pillow. There's certain things that you have to filter out in order to encapsulate adulthood, right? So here's the thing. Here's something that Americans, especially Black Americans, don't realize about America. They'll say little mantras that they hear on on memes, stuff like "America's for sale," but America is really for sale, like for real. Um, One of the things that they believe in is democracy. Democracy is something that Black Americans and the people that have been in America for a couple of generations really believe in, but America is a republic. America is a ragtag assembly of different nation states put together under one union, right? That's what America is. America is a place where every province calls their own shots. And I think that's awesome. That's awesome. The problem, especially when you talk to Black people, is they think that there's a king. They call themselves kings. They think there's a king. They think the president is a king. Everything that goes wrong in their local neighborhood, they blame the president. They don't check their alderman. That's your motherfucking local region. But yeah, part of being tribal is this. There are things that go on that you don't like. I'm not rebuilding no fucking community, dog. Fuck these people, man. But I'll build a community. One of the things that people don't really get is public, and you have an opportunity to set up the rules and regulations for your providence. You can do just that. There is nothing, even right now, y'all looking at this coronavirus thing. I'll use this as an example. Even when you look at this coronavirus thing, you have governors and mayors that are going against the president because that's their providence, and they can do what they want to do in the providence in which they run. It's their inalienable right as the govern or the region of their municipality, of their people, to do so. What makes those motherfuckers any different than you? What makes them any better than you? If the reason that Tyler's title is because there's no penalty. America is liberal. America's for sale. The news is owned by Hillary Clinton and Rupert Murdoch. And they have an initiative. And then you look at all the quote unquote minority nonprofits that are supposed to be for the coloreds. They all run by Jews. A lot of them by Soros. Y'all study Soros, dog. He behind Black Lives Matter. But he behind a lot of shit. So people are spending a lot of money to make the coloreds believe, to make the coloreds not feel American, to feel anti-American, to feel anti-establishment, to feel anti-man, to feel anti-leadership, to say I'm doing me, I'm independent. Those people over there evil. They spend a lot of money for that, to keep discord, right? That's cool. I'd spend that bread too. Fuck it. If you could trick them, you could beat them. But this is the thing about America. America is a place that if you pay the cost, you could definitely be the boss. There's a area right outside Chicago in the Wild Hunters called the Pullman District. For those who don't know, this predates Martin Luther King. As a matter of fact, if it wasn't for the Pullman District, there would be no Martin Luther King, to be honest with you. One of the best jobs for a black man to get out when slavery was abolished was to be a Pullman porter, which is basically kind of like an airline attendant, but for trains, right? So they'll come through and they'll serve the rich people on the train and, and give them pillows and shit like that. And these black men were they faced discrimination, of course. And they wanted to form a union. Now, white guys have formed unions prior to this to keep black men out of certain jobs. They set up minimum wage so you couldn't undercut and sell your services, kind of like they're doing to the legal Mexicans now. They set up unions so they didn't have to hire black people. And I think his name was Charles. Charles Pullman was the first rich white person that was like, yo, I got a job for all y'all niggas. And it was a good paying job. And what Pullman decided to do, which I thought was very ingenious, that to this day I think is so awesome, is Pullman bought land outside of his Chicago rail yard and set up an entire community. Bought the land. I don't even think he bought 40 acres, man. Because the Pullman district ain't that big. But he built houses there. He put the grocery stores there. You know what I'm saying? So now, not only does he pay you, you buy your house from him. So he really controls your whole life. So you can't leave. You can't quit the Pullman Porters because your wife and kids live in the house that Pullman provides. They buy groceries from the stores that Pullman provides. You get paid from the gig that Pullman provides. But it's a good life. It's a good life. People put their kids through college being a porter. But I say that to say they had certain criteria. So in order to get a house, you had to be a family man. Like they set up a structure that was a functional structure that in one hand it was to keep the porters indebted, but on the other hand, it was to keep the porters happy. It was a real functional situation. And Pullman governed the Pullman area, the Pullman district. You know what I'm saying? He was right outside Chicago. It's part of Chicago now. As a matter of fact, the Pullman district, if you ever got locked up on 111, is right behind that. Right behind the police station on 111 or 115th, whatever the police station is. It's right around there. And they did their thing. The same thing with O.W. Gurley when he bought 40 acres out there in outside of Tulsa, Oklahoma, and y'all call it Black Wall Street, but at that time they called it Little Africa. Same thing. He set up the banking. He set up the engineering. He did what he had to do in order to make sure his people were straight, and then he had a code of conduct in order for people to be able to survive and thrive, right? That's America. That's the American dream, bro. You can drive 45 minutes in any direction and you'll go through some small town with a population of 300 people. The only thing they have in there is a jail. They have they little grocery stores, one gas station, and a little town jail. And they function as such, right? But that's their providence. And there's nothing that another city can tell them about their small town of 300 people. Now, I want you to keep this in perspective, right? If you live in Chicago, there's 60 houses. Every house has about 4 people in it. So that's 60 times 4. That's 240 people. So if you go 2 blocks into Chicago, you have 480 people. They have towns with less people than the amount of people that you have to pass to get to the corner store. That's fucking awesome. That's awesome. That's awesome. And they govern by themselves. Can't nobody tell them shit. You know what I'm saying? The governor can tell them something, and they still have to follow the laws of the land, whatever the federal laws are. But federal laws are very sparse. That's why you can tell how much a person wants to be in slavery by how much they want the federal government to dictate their life. When they say they need more laws. Any person that says they need more laws, they really looking for a daddy, because you really want less laws. If you have less federal laws and you can have more local laws, you can create your shit by yourself, right? And they're deregulating a lot of stuff, so that's cool. Being an American is the opportunity to find your own plot of soil and start your life anew. It's not about being colored. It's not about saving shit. It's about finding a plot of land, sticking your flag in it, saying, yo, this my shit. And if you want to be on my shit, you got to move accordingly. If I come to your crib right now, bro, if I come to your house right now and you, when I walk in the door and you say, man, hey fam, you got to take your shoes off at the door, I'm not going to think nothing else of it. I'm like, all right, dog, I'm going to take my shoes off at the door. Because it's your shit. Your house, your rules. And your house functions as such because it's your house. If you didn't know how to function it, you wouldn't have a house. Multiply that and you have a community. A set of rules. If the whole block say, man, no shoes on in the house, now it's part of the culture. Now you just understand when you walk in somebody's house, take off your shoes. You want an example of that? You ever been to one of those Japanese sushi spots when you walk in and they got the mats and shit and you got to take your shoes off and put on sandals and sit on the fucking carpet? Same shit, because somebody said no shoes in my house, and then somebody else is like, that's a good idea, no shoes in my house, and next thing you know, it's part of the culture. Ain't no shoes, period. Just that simple. Just that simple. One of the guys, one of my Facebook friends from Britain said the funniest shit. He said, man, he's always found it strange that Americans beg for democracy, but they're a constitutional republic. Think about that. That's like wanting to be a man, but you're in a matriarchy. That's the exact same shit. I want to be or matriarch in a patriarchy. Same shit. I want to feel free to be me under your rules. That's childish shit. That's what I did at 15. That's 15-year-old shit. Like, man, Pop, I think my curfew should be later. You know what I'm saying? I think that I'm old enough or big enough to make my own decisions. Even though I'm not grown enough to get out your house and be the man of my own house, I think I'm grown enough to make my own decisions in your house. And I was. And he was right to feel how he felt. Like, okay, if you that grown, then here's some additional responsibilities. Take that, little nigga. And that's part of life. That's that influx period between when I'm big enough to do my own thing, but I'm not ready to do my own thing. That's just life. It happens so. We all were teenagers at one point, even though everybody want to forget their childhood when it was fucked up, but it was cool. It's cool. That's as the same way you got to get over the Easter Bunny, same way you got over Santa Claus, the same way you got over the Tooth Fairy. You got to get over this black shit. You got to tribe up. You are what you were before you got here, but you got to tribe up. Once you got the black shit, that's the last part of childishness. That's the last part of tolerance. And then you become a man. And when you become a man, you do man things. Now, there's guys out here that's making man salary. Don't get it twisted. It's motherfuckers out here getting a man's salary. But what are they doing with it? Getting a crib in Brentwood? Getting a crib out in Hoffman Estates? Moving around in search for creature comforts? There's nothing wrong with creature comforts. But those creature comforts come at a cost, right? Because you're thinking about you and you're trying to remove yourself from some type of element into a different, quote unquote, better element that you didn't set up. The rules aren't yours. One of the biggest complaints that men have is about women is the fact that they get penalized for everything and there's no penalty for toddlers. So no matter how good or bad you are, you still penalize the same. You could be a deadbeat and have to pay child support. You could be a loving father and husband and she just fell out of love and get a no, what's it called? A no, anyway, get one of those one of those divorces that's based on nothing. Like you didn't beat her, there was no infidelity. She just fell out of love. And she can leave you, take half your shit, take the kids, you still paying child support. Now you're a 4-day-a-month dad just because her feelings changed. There's no penalty. But those are other people's laws. You can enforce your own tribal laws. You can have an area that says, check this out. In this Providence right here, if Shorty want to stay in this Providence right here, then she has to give custody of the child to the father. She ain't going to be so quick to leave you then. If she got to leave the baby behind, she'll figure out a way to work it out. She'll figure out a way to get knocked up by better niggas. They do it for you right now. They do it in the opposite. If she got Section 8, you can't live in the home. They tell you that you can't have a man for federal stipends. Why you can't turn around in your tribe and say, check this out. Only men matter in this dichotomy. That's just an example. I'm not saying that you should or shouldn't do that. But I'm not saying you should do that. But what I am saying is to be black means that you have no code. To call yourself black is to mean that you have no code. Because everything about you was given to you. Somebody told you irreconcilable differences. You goddamn right. Thank you, Mark. That's the name of the divorce. Irreconcilable differences. They just take your shit because she fell out of love. Goofy shit. Anyway, when you decide to claim black, somebody else gave that to you. They told you you was black. They told you was Negro. They told you was colored. Now they telling you adios. What happened to Afro-American? Jesse told you was an African-American. You probably ain't even fucking from Africa. When somebody else dictates your tribal designation, then they control you. Once they can convince you that you are less than, you less than. Once motherfuckers can make you a perpetual victim to the point that you feel like things are supposed to happen, and they enforce it. They enforce perpetual victimhood to the point that y'all think that police killing black men is a thing. That shit ain't a thing. I don't give a fuck what they tell you, dog. That shit ain't a thing. They can kill 50 niggas a year and show you 50 murders, and you be like, oh my God, they killing niggas everywhere. No. They beating ass everywhere. They're not killing everywhere. When I get pulled over by the police, bro, not one time in my life have I thought, I'm afraid for my life. Never. I've never seen a police officer walk to my car and think, yo, this is the day I'm gonna die. Ever. You know what I have thought? This motherfucker finna put some work on me. I've thought that many times. Like, yo, this nigga finna go in his pocket and his crack about to be my crack so he can meet his arrest quota. Because that's their job. Their job is to funnel people into the prison industrial complex. Their job is not to be hitmen. Not for random people. I mean, if you Fred Hampton or something, they'll send a hit squad, but not for random people. I've never been afraid of that. And here's something else. It's always police violence. Let me repeat that. This is very important. It's always police violence. It's never, when I say that, listen to what I'm saying. It's never sheriff violence. It's damn near never state trooper violence. It's never Secret Service, CIA, IRS, postal police violence. It's police violence. Let me tell you what a police officer is. Sheriff is the law. Sheriffs are the only law. That's why when the police arrest you, they got to send you to the county jail under the supervision of who? The sheriffs. Back in the day, if you look at shit like what was that movie with Barney Fife? The Andy Griffith Show. Andy Griffith was the sheriff. He just deputized the motherfuckers. Same thing if you watch Tombstone, any of them old shows. They deputize people to be law enforcement. The sheriff does that. What police are security guards. They protect and they don't even protect and serve. If you look at the cars don't even say protect and serve. They say law enforcement. They enforce the laws of the land. That's what police are supposed to do. They no different than the security guard or the bouncer at the club. If you're an armed bouncer. That's it. They not the law. They enforce the law of the land. You buy the land, you make the law. That's tribal shit. That's tribal shit. You still have to respect the sheriffs. You still have to respect. But most of the shit that happens to niggas is local. You the local. The great thing about being an American in a republic is you can do whatever you want to do. Whatever you want to do. As long as the majority of people agree with it, right? You can have a tribe that sells crack if that's what they want to do. Give you a perfect example. There used to be the numbers racket, right? Everybody racket. That shit was illegal when they did it in Harlem. It was illegal when they did it in Chicago in the Bronzeville area. It was illegal shit. Beanie Siegel, white boy say, yo, check this out. Fuck this shit. I'm going to go buy my own land and we going to run numbers. We going to gamble. We going to have whores. We going to do everything we want to do. Y'all with me? Motherfuckers like, yeah, we with you. Boom. Now you got Las Vegas. They literally call it Sin City. Because everybody say, yo, if we going to be here, this how we getting down. We gambling. If you ever been to Vegas, man, y'all know that they got free newspapers for prostitutes in Vegas. You know what I'm saying? $49 specials, all type of cool shit. Because everything goes. Smoke shops, everything goes. They just organize it so it's not chaotic. When you are in somebody else's home, somebody else's providence, somebody else's town, city, state, you are beholden to the rules, laws, and policies of those people. If they say fuck men, your city gonna say fuck men. Look at liberal cities. All liberal cities say fuck men. And look at the crime and the poor education and how many broken homes are in every liberal city in America. And what do those liberals do? Run to Republican cities. Run to Texas. Run to Cali. They run every motherfucking way else where people have order. Because when they had the opportunity to get their way, there was no penalty, so they just did bullshit and fucked up everything they touched. I'm trying to raise boys to men like Michael Bivins, man. I'm trying to get y'all out this black shit. I used to be black. I understand. I used to be black. I used to be lost. Then I became a man. I woke up one day and realized as a man, we the most awesome men on the planet. We move culture. We move commerce. People pay to hate us. People pay to love us. But only when we step up as men, right? So as long as you black, you just a motherfucker. They lock the car doors when you cross the street. But once you a man, they put your poster on the wall. All you gotta do is be a man. So when you have a group of men together, a group of men can come together as one and create policy. As far as cultural policy goes, the laws and policies are for those who specialize in that. But when it comes to the cultural policies, guys can do that. Will guys always agree? No. Nobody agrees with everybody all the time in any facet of life. It's only on Facebook that you can block a motherfucker out your life if you agree 99 times and disagree one. Like, fuck that nigga. In real life, you fight somebody and then next week they your best friend. That's how boys get down. Men can come together and set up a situation. There's people right now that are doing a mini house thing and building their communities and all that shit. And that shit's cool. But every time I see it, I say, man, they skipped several steps. Because they could have taken that opportunity and built their own little town with their own laws and policies and paid their friends to be the security, to be the admins, to be the jury of whatever happens in their providence. They could have handled a lot of shit before they hand it off to somebody else, because they literally, here's the crazy shit. Niggas literally call white people the man. What the fuck is you then? If they men, what is you? Crazy. Look, there's certain things I don't believe in. I don't believe in white supremacy because there's nobody supreme over me. I do believe in white privilege, but I don't believe white privilege is for whites. As a matter of fact, nobody believes that but black people. When you talk to Arabs or Asians, they call it white privilege. All white privilege is at least I ain't the niggas. That's all it is. All white privilege is at least I ain't no nigga or no Jew. That's all it is. Y'all can send me clips all motherfucking day of how we should move in Africa. I don't give a fuck about none of that shit. I'm not going nowhere, bro. Until I'm going somewhere. Eventually I go to Anguilla, but that's a banking move. That's to do some other shit. You know what I'm saying? But because I like their bank codes out there. But when it comes to culture, man, we can identify our culture right here, bro. You know what I'm saying? America is the land of the free. But freedom takes pistols and paperwork. Pistols and paperwork. I can write some paperwork up. Probably cost $15,000, but you'll never pay taxes again. Because it's the land of the free. Everybody comes over here and uses tribal laws. Because that's how America was built. America is built on tribal laws. When I set up, y'all sharing that shit from, and y'all should sharing that shit from Wells Fargo and Chase, how they stealing all the money, how they using these federal funds in order to pump up their bank fees and shit like that. The banking is their own institution, but the zoning for those fees are tribal laws. When you go through the Small Business Administration, they ask you, are you setting up as a tribal providence, right? Because they have certain zones that are set up for that. They have certain zones. Here's how they switch names up on y'all, man, to confuse the niggers. When you're black, they call it redlining, right? But when you're native, they call it reservations. It's the same shit. They putting you in a particular zone. That's it. Now, when you in that particular zone, you're supposed to run your zone. What the colors have been showing for the last 60 years is, and this is some real baby boomer shit, is they don't have the ability or tenacity to lead. It's a lot of ask your mother. Ask your mother? Nigga, I wish a motherfucker look. But that's what they passed down. Ask your mother. They have capitulated to the matriarchy. They have given women too much power over decisions that she shouldn't have to. You know what I'm saying? And because of that, you look at your communities. I'm not blaming women, I'm blaming men, but it is what it is. We Americans, bro. This is the best motherfucking country in the world. Not the richest. Doesn't have the best educational system. But it has the biggest opportunity for upward mobility than any other nation in the world. We can create our own destiny at any given time in America. The moment that you realize you're American. That moment where you stop blaming whitey, when you stop being anti-establishment, when you stop being anti-American, when you stop talking about orange man bad and really start talking about my black alderman ain't shit. When you really take accountability and say, yo, it's just me and my clan, me and my clique, my crew, my tribe, my gang, my pack. It's us, nigga. Now you the new Black Boule. Because you'll be a team in a world of individuals. You'll be an operating force in a world of individuals where everybody's talents are showcased. Because everybody ain't going to be the man, but everybody can be a man. Look, man, this is a republic. And I ain't going to talk no longer, but this is a republic, bro. And it's being part of the republic. We have every right not to be Baptist. I don't know what fuck niggas is Baptist anyway. You know what a Baptist is? You know who John the Baptist was? John the Baptist was the nigga to tell y'all a better nigga is coming. That's what black people are? The niggas that tell you a better nigga is coming? That shit crazy. What type of low self-esteem shit is that? We have the opportunity to establish our own religion that works for us. Because of technology, we have the own opportunity to do something that no other Americans have had the chance to do. And that's put our face on our own money. You know how powerful that is? To have your face on your money? First of all, do you know America's the only nation that puts dead people on their money? Everybody else put whoever the ruler is at that time, his face go on the money. Only America put dead motherfuckers on their money. That shit is morbid by itself. And then for you to go out here and exchange goods and services using somebody else's money while you praising a God that don't look like you, while you living in providences that you don't control with rules that were bent against you. That's not man shit. It's not man shit. I love y'all niggas, man. You know what I'm saying? Because I love me, dog. And looking at y'all is a reflection of me. I mean, not as handsome, of course, but y'all a reflection of me, dog. You know what I'm saying? So, not all y'all niggas either, but the ones that are, y'all are. It's no reason in the world, man. It's no reason in the world we should have the issues we have, man. You know what I'm saying? And most of y'all issues is girl issues. Bitches move how niggas telling them to move. I don't care what they say. They go blah, 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 blah all day. Chicks move how niggas tell them to move. Chicks are vases that you can fill with whatever you want to fill them with. They should be the last of y'all concern, man. Y'all should not be fucking up the move to make a chick happy. Because, number one, women are never happy. So then you'll just be running in circles anyway. Y'all should be going out here saying, man, what can you do to be functional and find happiness in your life? Because when you happy, everybody happy. When you happy, she happy, the kids happy, you functional. You have a community of people that look like you, that share your ideology, that go through the same penalties and the same adulations that you go through. So now your kids are safe. Because if I see your kid, I'm like, oh shit, ain't you Dre, little boy? Go and get up out of here. because you have that communal. Look, man, a town of 300 is a beautiful thing. You know 300 people. You don't have 300 friends, but you know 300 people. I told you 240 people on every block in Chicago. If you know everybody on your block that you grew up in, especially when you was a kid, you know 300 motherfuckers, man. You know 300 motherfuckers. So a town of 300 motherfuckers, that's easy pay, bro. That's easy pay. Anyway, enjoy this republic, man. Get off this democratic shit. The voting process is democratic, but the nation is republic. Democracy means that everybody has a voice. Republic means that everybody has a spot and somebody represents their providence. That's America. That's Chicago, Detroit. It's different providences. That's every state in America is as big as every country in Europe. Every state is as big as a country in Europe. Could you imagine if Yugoslavia, Slovenia, Slovakia, Czechoslovakia, and Germany linked up and became their own nation instead of 5, 6 different nations? They still wouldn't be as big as the original 13. America's a huge, vast, spacious place, bro. With free market industry, with the freedom of religion, culture. Y'all just want to be mad. I be mad because y'all mad. Because I be like, the fuck is they talking about? Anyway, let's get this money, man. Let's tribe up. Let's get this money as a group and grow as individuals, man. Love each other as you love yourself. Subscribe to my motherfucking podcast, man. I really need to get to 1,000 subs so I can start doing giveaways and shit. Anyway, love each other as you love yourself. Feed the pack.